There was a chain of car dealerships in the Chicagoland area, and they would do commercials, and it was Bob Rohrman, and it would be Bob Rohrman. And my last name is not Rohrman. However, it is Rohr.
And you used to, in school, you used to do that, right?
When
your teacher was like...
Other people did it all the time. And I'm like, it's not the same name.
Rohrman?
Rohrman.
Really? They call you that? That's a
You
bad
have to-
name.
Well, they'd be like, Brad Rohrman. I'm like...
I like how you're like, it's not the same thing. That reminds me of a kid I knew in high school. His name was Rudolph Hattler. And people were off.
You got me so good.
I was
like, Rudolph Hattler.
Yeah, you're stuck on Rudolph. Wow, would they make fun of his nose and stuff like that? You skip over the Hattler. Like years go by, and somebody's like, Adolf Hitler, and you're like, oh,
That's really funny.
wow.
Yes. Welcome to a new episode of Funbearable. I am Brad Rohr.
I am Ray Harrington. I didn't have a fun middle there.
And I'm Chuck, not Ray Stanton.
Yeah,
Pretty
good.
good improvement from
Cleared
last
it
I
time.
gotta fix that shit. Yeah,
Cleared it up.
I will say this. Speaking similarly of that, when I started being a comedy talk man
Yep.
or woman, I sorry, my excuse me.
My comedy talk box is broken.
No, my equality started to like really rise up. It's like acid reflux.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Equality reflux.
So because I said man and or woman.
Yep.
Excuse me. James Acaster has a great bit about that. He's like, I like when someone says he or she.
Yep.
Because what that means is it's usually a man who said it, and what it really means is he was just gonna say he, and then he remembered she exists.
Yep.
The light just changed.
A light just went out. But what's weird is like they're all still on.
Yeah, one is like changing in intensity. It's really fun and maddening. So when I was starting comedy, right, and I had to make a website and do all that business,
Right.
And I remember Googling myself to be like, what does come up, just to know,
Right.
You know, what I
Yeah,
mean? And
of
as a
course.
comedian, I want to know what's out there.
Yeah, you have to bury all those search results from your early 20s.
Yeah, exactly. No, from the early 20s.
Yes. Ray Harrington poisons President Harding.
Yeah, it was right. And that was a bit that I was doing.
Yeah.
Nobody got it.
Yep. I mean, Harding got it.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop doing comedy for so long. I was in the vaudeville era, and it went so poorly that I had to hang it up until the early new millennium.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I was like 2010. I'm like, all right, I'll dip my toe back in.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Some theaters you still banned from the Borscht Belt.
Yeah, can't go back.
Yep.
Can't go back. I had to wear a fake mustache when I worked at that theater in Cohoes, the music hall, because on the pictures it showed like Wild Bill Hickok, fucking this vaudeville
Yep.
era person.
Eddie Cantor.
And then there I was.
Yep.
And I was like, oh boy.
And it banned.
Yeah. You can't recognize me because I don't have my my assistant that I would often banter with on, and you would definitely recognize him.
Yeah.
Full makeup. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
At the time, anyway.
Yeah.
Google search result.
Yep.
This was all just to get to this part.
Yes.
Ray Harrington's roast beef. I don't. You know what? I shouldn't even talk about this. It's giving too much like ammunition.
My eyebrows almost shot up off my forehead. Again.
I shouldn't have even brought it up. So in like Chicago,
Yep.
Yeah.
there's like some roast beef thing, and for years, like that's what would come up.
Right.
Thankfully, that's not the case anymore. It don't you Brad?
What?
If that's not the hot dog calling the website beef, I don't know how that breaks down. You know what I mean? But let's just say mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
If you fuck with me with the roast beef thing,
I would
I will come back
never.
twice as hard with the hot dogs.
I
Twice as hard.
would never.
Twice as hard with the hot dog.
Yeah. And then with you, I'll just leak court transcripts and then you'll be buried. They'll never let you go on that
I will.
cruise ship.
Bob Rohrman versus Brad Rohr. You get Chuck Stanton constantly.
That
I
is
got
true.
Chuck
yeah.
Stanton and Chuck Stanton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very annoying. And I had an idea. I wrote it down a long time ago for like, it would be funny if I was in like a show or something and people kept calling me Stanton and they kept going like Chuck Stanton. I'd be like, stay in, Stanton, stay in. And then later on, I'm in like a scene, I'm filming something and they're like, Chuck Stanton. And I'm like, stay in. I think that's real fun.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
No, yeah, it's weird. I feel like something happened recently where they legit. Oh yeah, it was Tuesday's Stories. The studio. They're like, so we signed you guys up for another year on your lease, and we're like, what? We wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And they're like, and this is in July, and we signed up at the end of October. So they're like, well, we renew 90 days beforehand, and I'm like, you don't tell us or anything? And they go, we wrote you, we emailed you, and I go, you did? And she goes, yeah. And I said, where'd you send the email? And she goes, and she's looking it up. She goes, what's your name? I go, no, tell me where I sent the email. Because if I say Chuck Stanton, she'll be like, yeah, we sent it to chuckstanton@gmail.com.
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
tell me the email. She goes, chuckstanton@gmail.com. I'm like, you sent it to the wrong email. You wrote down my email wrong. I didn't write it down wrong. And they were like, we don't care. And they said, it's just a courtesy that we even let you know. So they signed us up for another year based
Yeah.
on that issue.
Wow.
Man.
Sucks. I'm like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
No, that is annoying. It's like one of those subscription things that just auto renews.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's very weird. And also, I didn't sign up for it. It was our last producer, so
Yeah.
I don't even know any of the 90 days beforehand. I don't know any of that shit. But
You know what? Sublet. There's a solution. Sublet it. How about this? The boys from the stories, they can go do their own studio, right? You say, hey, don't worry about this. I'll make sure the rent is covered each
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Because you start leasing out time. Do a timeshare, a podcasting timeshare.
oh yeah,
That's actually clever.
it's not bad. It's right next to Grand Central Station. It's pretty. It's in the heart of Midtown.
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of people doing stuff.
Imagine if there was a place that had like a really cool, backdrop kind of vibe
Yep.
with maybe some couches or whatever it is. You can do interviewee stuff. I know a lot of podcasts now lately they seem to be just like, here's like a nice lobby of a hotel, essentially. You know what I mean? With 4 chairs or couches.
Yeah.
And then everybody sits and just talks that way, holding microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be most of them, right?
Yeah.
Like Sam Morril. Like that's like kind of his vibe, right? And I like it. I think it works, especially when it's a visual medium now.
Right.
Yeah.
But imagine if you had that space and it looked spectacular.
Yeah.
And you were just like, yeah,
I know.
you pay this much a month and you can come and use it for these times that you block out.
Are you talking about We Might Be Drunk when you say Samaril with Mark or no?
No, I think there was something else, but
Was he-
probably that as well.
Oh, you know, he was
That's
probably
in a studio.
he was probably on a guest on it because We Might Be Drunk is Mark and Sam, and that's kind of like. Although Sam might do a sports podcast too or something.
I don't know. We don't have to get.
But I was
into the
going to say that
specifics.
I think a lot of places do pretty much do that.
Yeah.
I just think that they're so expensive to rent,
Right.
That you're not going to see a lot of people using them. It's
That's why.
bigger
Listen,
people.
I remember being in the Tuesdays little room.
Yeah.
That's a fucking closet.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yeah.
So the rate that you would charge is really low, but it's everything everybody needs.
Yeah, it's true.
Camera's
Do it.
already there.
All
That's
I'm
true.
asking for is a small percentage as a not a finder's fee, but a thinker's fee.
Thinker's fee.
I get a lot of thinker's fees. I really do.
I do not.
I'm an idea man. I'm like, hey, that's a good idea, and then I'm like, you should do that.
I wish you
That's-
had a
that's
thing.
often-
I like the idea of a thinker's fee.
Yeah. You actually get thinker charges.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
really.
you're like, and then you hear like a printout happening, and then, oh no, it's a dot matrix printer. I owe so much.
So I wanted to ask your advice about something.
Yeah.
and Brad can help.
I say get it
But
checked.
Ray's an expert.
He's had it checked.
Well,
He needs it checked again.
I've heard he takes advice from his physical doctor the same way he was taking advice from his mental doctor
Right.
or therapist.
Well,
where you go, what if I do the
The
exact opposite?
Yeah. What if instead of focusing on gratitude, I focused
Yeah.
on the things that cheese me off?
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah.
And then I like
I
the
did.
idea.
Hold on, I did my gratitude. My therapist told me to do a gratitude journal, and I thought it'd be cool, fun, and interesting to do a gratitude journal and an attitude journal.
Yes.
The stuff that I like and the stuff that I ate.
Yeah,
You know, to get it off my plate.
yeah, but that undoes the whole idea of doing the thing.
You do
Anyway.
it. Do
It's
it.
like when your physical doctor said, "Hey, that'll go away if you keep it dry and clean, and you just soak it in pond water all the time, keeping it wet and dirty.
That's so funny.
There's a tadpole in it.
Yes.
And I don't mean the pond water.
No. Ooh, he's kicking. Can you imagine?
Feel him.
Can you, if men could get pregnant, there would be so many times of guys just being like, no, put your fingers right against the shaft of my penis. You can feel him kicking. It's crazy. So tell us about.
Wait, he's not there. Move up. Oh no, he's not there. Move down.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it. You just missed it.
Yeah. You just look at a guy. He's like, oh, what's happening? Baby's kicking.
I love the idea that the baby's in his penis.
Yeah.
Well, where else is a man gonna carry a baby?
Come
That's
on, not
true.
in the nut.
Yeah, it's true.
That's full already.
So, actually, this very week, I think that the podcast goes out.
Yeah.
I have been invited to go on a cruise.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a reality show.
I also have been invited to go on a reality show by myself, coming up with my own idea. Thinker's fee.
Oh. I thought it was Naked and Afraid.
It is.
Oh.
But it's
where you're naked and everybody else is afraid.
that was good.
That was like a roast joke. I like it.
No, I was getting invited to go on the Impractical
He
Jokers.
says he's pregnant.
We're all feeling it. It's not kicking.
Give it a couple minutes. It'll kick.
So I'm going on this cruise this week. I've never been on a cruise before.
Yeah.
And Ray is a cruise expert.
It's the Impractical
about
Jokers
that.
cruise, and
I'm a cruise sexpert.
a good friend of mine invited me, and he's treating me, which is very kind and nice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to say who.
Sugar daddy.
And
I'll just say this. There is a long-standing history of people being disappeared on cruise ships.
really,
Yes. Going off the rails. That's true. Going off the rails.
Anything can happen.
That's all I'm saying. So maybe this is less generous and more.
Murderous.
Yes. This is where I'm going.
I'm saying you should wear a life jacket at all times.
Yeah.
okay. So I've never been on a cruise before.
Yeah.
You know, I had when I first found out, I was like, should I get a passport? I went to the post office. I had a huge fight with the lady at the post office.
Why a fight? Why did that have to
Yeah.
happen?
What did you say to
Couldn't
her?
you have simply gone to the post office, had an interaction where things were even keel, and then leave the post office?
Did you?
Everywhere you go, there is a fight. What's going to happen on the cruise?
The guy who sold me this mirror is an asshole.
Yeah. How many stories of like arguing with some poor fucking porter on the ship that some poor guy from fucking like Panama.
Why do you do this to me?
What am I doing? I simply remember the things that have come before and notice, let's call them patterns.
Yeah, okay.
So you went to the post office.
You went to the
and
post
you said,
office.
"I'd like a passport, please."
I had a big fight. I don't want to get into it.
No, what did you say to her?
I'm not going to tell Ray.
Why? Why? Hey, listen, this is a communal space where we
Okay.
share.
Okay.
Okay? Hands in for sharing.
Okay.
No, there's the pinky.
Yes,
See, that's why. He's always holding back a little bit.
So I got the news, invited on the cruise, unexpected,
Keep rhyming.
very cool. And I said, okay, I
Is
guess
there a pool?
I guess I need a passport. I went online, and it was like the cruise is only 4 weeks away. So I looked at how long the passport takes, and it says if you pay this extra like $150, you can get it in like 2 to 3
Expedited.
weeks.
Yeah. I had to do that for mine.
Yeah. So it was like basically you can't submit online, but you do fill out the form online. Then you print it out. You go to the post office, make an appointment beforehand. They take a picture of you. It has to be like a government picture.
Yeah.
They give it to you and you send it out. So I filled out the thing. I made an appointment. I went to the post office.
Yours is a little different because did you have a passport before? This is not a joke.
No, I never had a passport.
That's why, because when I did it, I could do it online.
Yes.
Because I had already had a passport
Yes.
that expired during COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why was I going to renew it then?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
mine was the first passport. Right.
Right.
You renewed. Mine was first. Mine was like I never had one before.
It sounded like you said you were nude.
You were nude.
You were nude. You were my first.
Well, that's why did you have clothes on when you took the picture?
And so
I was naked.
I made my appointment. I went to the post office. I said, here are my papers. I need to take a picture.
The overworked employee at the post office.
And
yeah.
she said, do you have a birth certificate? And I said, oh, no, I don't have a birth certificate. And I didn't know that I had to bring a birth certificate. And she goes, can't do it. Next. And I'm like, well, hold on. I'm like, I just filled this out. I'm like, I had this expedited thing. And this is like probably like, 4 days before Christmas. So I didn't want it to get to Christmas and then whatever.
Famously, the easiest time to work at the post office, Christmas.
Right. I will say, no one in the post office besides me. Two
Okay.
postal employees.
Who was she saying next to?
I know. Well, she wasn't saying next, but she was like, sorry. That was that.
Oh,
It
so
wasn't-
next changes to sorry.
like, sorry.
Very different vibe.
Yeah. So she was. Yeah. It was also.
If I spilled that water on you and I went next versus sorry.
No. She wasn't saying sorry. She was like sorry. Like she was like, I'm done. Like no. Like no matter what you say, no.
Gotcha.
And I was like, no. I'm like, I need to get this in a short amount of time, so I kind of have to figure this out. I go, I lost my birth certificate in a house fire, and she's like, you're not going to go on the cruise. She's like, you can't go. And
That's
I was
weird.
like,
I mean, that's rude, yeah.
she was insanely rude. And I was like, I just found out I'm going to go on the cruise like literally yesterday. I couldn't have gone any faster. I go, it said online that you can pay like an extra amount of money that I checked off to get it expedited in 2 to 3 weeks. She goes, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, I'm getting madder and madder because I hate when it's like, here's the official thing and I do exactly what it says. And then I go in person and someone's like, oh, all that's wrong, that the information you were given. I fucking hate that. So I was like, well, I'm like, this is what it says. She goes, no, it's not going to work. You're not going to go. You can't go. You're not going to go. And I was like, I was getting so mad that eventually I did say a thing. I was a little annoyed. What do you think I said, Brad? I told Brad already. Let's see if he remembers it.
Then why did you ask him what he thinks you said?
It was, then I guess I should just fucking kill myself.
I go, how about I just fucking kill myself? You think that'll be easier than going on the cruise? Is that a better plan? And she kind of like got mad, you know what I mean? And then the lady next window, who I wish I got, she came over. She goes, all right, hold on. What's going on? And I told her, and she goes, all right, first off, let's figure out, where is your cruise going? And I said, the Bahamas. She goes, you don't need a passport to go to the Bahamas. You just need to recover your initial birth certificate. She goes, the Bahamas is not a place where you need a passport, but you will need a license and a birth certificate. Birth certificate is really easy to get.
Where else does it stop, though?
It's just Bahamas.
Okay.
And so it goes from Miami to the Bahamas and back.
I would double check.
I already did. I already triple checked.
Good. Yeah. Don't just...
I trusted.
Don't get your cruise information from the post office. You know what I mean?
Because there's a website called like, I want to say it's ncl.com or nch.com or something, and it has to do with Norwegian. Maybe it's NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line.
NPH.com.
NPH.
About
Neil
Patrick
Harris.
Harris.
Yeah.
And it said, like, if you are a U.S. citizen coming from here, you need either a passport or a driver's license and a birth certificate. And she's like, that's way...
Or threaten to kill yourself.
She was like...
That'll get you through customs.
she was like, it's really easy to get a birth certificate, whatever. I said, okay. I said, thank
She's like,
you.
how much money do you have?
Yeah.
Took you out back, showed you all the birth certificates.
Yes. So I have my birth certificate.
Yeah.
My original.
Your name is Raul now.
Raul. And
Stanton.
so now I'm going to go on a cruise. I'm going to go to Miami, and
Yeah.
we depart from Miami
Yep.
and go to Bahamas and come back. But I've never been on a cruise
You
at
embark
all.
from
Embark.
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embark.
This is
I
good.
think we
Get a
depart-
notebook out. I'll help you.
So
Got to
here's
listen to the bosun and go to the forecastle.
So I don't know about the foods, the alcohol, the
Well, that all depends on what
activities.
package you have, honey.
I didn't
It's,
buy it.
it's the smallest package you can imagine. Pew, 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 pew. Penis.
That was so big.
I never do that. I never go that big.
I know. I think that's what startled both of us. It's like, holy shit, he's finally going to do it.
So I didn't pick.
That was like a lot of shots at Chuck.
Yeah.
Like too many.
Yeah.
Can I?
Am I working through some stuff?
I don't know.
How about this? How about this? I'll tell you what it says on my confirmation.
No, we don't need the like.
Well,
the
you said it
specific
depends on the
information.
package. I didn't book any of it. I don't know.
Look, the food is taken care of. Okay? The food is taken care of. As far as I know, every line is different.
Well, you're an employee on a cruise, so I wonder if it's like you have this whole contract that has all these specific things that
I'm
you just...
but when I walk out into the main area, like I'm just a guest. I can't go to the cruise section for food or drink or anything like that. The cruise section has its own bar. It has its own mess hall, all that stuff. I am a guest when I go out. So the only thing about me that's different is I stay on the crew side.
See, I didn't know if maybe they were just like, listen, Mr. Harrington, since you're a performer, we're taking care of everything. Don't worry about it.
No. Like, so on Princess, the ones I've worked,
Yes.
there's a few little locations of food things that are free to all guests, right?
Yeah.
There's like a little cafe, stays open all night.
Yeah.
There's like a little pizza place or whatever, stuff like that. And then there's the buffet and all that shit. And then the main dining room. There's multiple rooms, and that's where like a proper dinner is served, right?
Yeah.
All of that is free to every guest.
Okay.
There are restaurants
Yeah, I heard.
on the ship. Those cost extra. Those are, you're going to go in and usually pay a flat price
Yes.
for the priest feast, the
Yes.
menu that's there. Some places you just pay per. Like there's a sushi place on the Princess cruises. You got to pay for each roll, right?
Yeah.
So that
But
kind of stuff.
on the cruise line, if you go to Ray Harrington's roast beef, extra. Brad's hot dogs,
Yeah.
extra.
It is weird though. Ray Harrington's roast beef does do sushi, which is weird.
Yes.
People don't get it.
No.
You know what I mean? People don't get it because that guy's nickname was roast beef.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So yeah.
It's the apostrophe S is Ray Harrington is roast beef.
Yes. But the other part of it is drinks, right? Like alcohol and stuff like that. They're going to charge you for drinks unless, again, this is only what I know from Princess. Or they have like drink packages.
Yes.
Where you pay for this and those drinks are now free. For my end of things, it meant coffee, like specialty coffees as well, like at the cafe. I always get iced coffee there. It's terrible because it's just hot coffee that they pour over ice.
I think they have a Starbucks on this cruise.
Oh, yeah. But then you're probably going to have to pay for your coffee.
Yeah.
Unless there's some package that involves the Starbucks.
I think there is.
Yeah. So that's that kind of thing.
I think there's an interesting thing going on
I
here.
do get free coffee, though, because all I have to do is say, I'm an entertainer, and they go,
I think there's an interesting
Here's
aspect
some
of
terrible
this.
coffee for me.
yeah.
Everyone
Thank you.
else that I know is going
Yeah.
is like, so what did you say to this email? What did you pick on this? What did you do this? And I'm like, I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just have a confirmation email, but I think all the stuff you normally do when you sign up for this,
Yeah.
they walk you through.
Yeah.
But because I'm part of this guest thing, they didn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to do. Like, I don't know what I pay for. Do I say, here's my credit card and I get a wristband? Like,
I would
people-
recommend kind of
Yeah.
first base here. Go on the website for that place.
Yeah.
Look at your email, see whatever confirmation number you have,
Mm-hmm.
or itinerary number or something like that. Go through, plug that in, see what the website tells you.
Yeah.
In terms of what you have for options. And then if that doesn't work, contact Norwegian, ask them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're not an employee. Like
Yeah,
I
I know,
don't
that's what I mean.
contact Princess because I'm an employee and like the way the ships operate, they're just going to be like, "What? Your luggage. Go
Yes.
away." Right? Like ask your entertainment
luggage
director.
luggage that eats.
Yeah. It's ask your entertainment director, and the entertainment director's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you're on stage." Like that kind of stuff. It is weird. So my experience with it is very different, right?
Yeah.
Like if I say there's a problem, like before, I've gone to like the concierge desk, and I've said like, "Hey, this is what's up. Like there's a situation." One, I couldn't get into the room. They didn't have a room key. They didn't include a room key in my onboarding package. Because the way I onboard is I go on with everybody else through the big line. You're going to show up. There's going to be a big fucking line of people in like a warehouse feeling place that you'll make your way through. Pick up whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
Usually like now it's usually like a pendant or some kind of like
Oh.
Apple AirTag. That's what Princess does anyway.
Necklace?
Yeah, a lanyard.
Okay.
Tiara?
If you want to buy one.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can buy a tiara from Tiara.
Okay.
She's mean.
Yeah.
She always insults your haircut when she's putting the tiara on.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then I go through everybody else on a Princess cruise. They use their pendant to get in their room. There's like a little thing, and you go dee and you go in, right? My room is on the crew side. It doesn't have that. It has a key card that I have to
Okay.
put up against
Similar.
it. So I got to carry the key card and carry the pendant at all times.
Okay.
And this time there was no key card. So I go to the front desk and I'm like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, Mr. Harrington, yeah, absolutely, blah, 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 blah. They're doing all of that because they can see Mr. Harrington on the pendant. When you walk up, they get a little screen thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say entertainer on it.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
I was just going to say.
And as soon as I say, yes, I'm an entertainer on the ship, right? Usually it's when they're like, oh, what's your cabin number? What's your room number? They always ask that, like, to charge you for something.
Yeah.
The second I go, because, on the ship, it's like those numbers are like, like H635,
Yeah.
B429, stuff
Bingo.
like that. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, oh, 71017, something like that. As soon as I say the 7, they're like, and they're done. They completely, the hospitality phase
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
see the real person who's tired and they don't want to help anyone. And they're always just like, ask the entertainment director, ask this person. And I'm like, but they don't.
Yeah.
I just need help,
Yeah.
So it's a different experience.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. Yeah, so I mean, this is how I'm treating it. I'm treating it like it's a hotel at sea with a lot of
That's what it
performance
is.
rooms and buffet and whatever.
Yeah.
And so
No matter what, if you show up with not $1 to your name, as long as you're on the ship and have a room, you'll be fine for eating.
Yeah.
Alcohol, whatever, that's a different story. I
Yeah.
imagine you'll be taken care of. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
yeah, I think it'll be fine.
And if you run out of water, like the ship is in water.
Right.
Just put your hand down.
it's
Also-
water everywhere, so many drops to drink.
There are, that's the old saying, right?
Yes.
There are also sections of the boat in multiple locations. They just fill like a big hole full of clear, beautiful looking
Wow.
water. And like people are so thirsty, they jump in.
To absorb water through their skin.
They drink it and
Yeah.
they do that a lot.
I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
shows the entire time. It's Impractical Jokers, and then Steve-O is on it, and there's a bunch of different things going on that I think will be really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. It's just
sure.
funny because I've never really been in this position. That's all. I just haven't gone on a thing. And then my buddy Lindsay texted me yesterday, and she's like, "Do you want to do any excursions with me?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "We can swim with pigs." I'm like, "That's weird. Swimming with pigs seems weird."
That's the service I offer. That's how I make a little extra cash on the boat.
She's like, "We can go snorkeling with
Put up a little
seahorses."
sign. I sit in a raft.
Hey,
I
Marge.
got a little pig nose
Yeah.
on. When I get home, I have one very thin line of the tan line on my cheeks. What's that from? Swimming with pigs.
I think the cute that you rub a little zinc oxide on the pig nose.
Yes, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And I always ask, how would you rate your experience 1 through 5 oinks?
Oh, 5 oinks all the way.
That's what they say, but they always give me 3. When they walk away, they do the real answer,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just an interesting new thing to experience.
Yeah. I will say excursion stuff. Well, you're with people. It changes everything.
I know.
My experience is solo, 100%. At best, I make like a week-long buddy
Yeah.
with another entertainer or something like that. But I haven't made any fast friends on these trips, you know?
Yeah, for me, I feel like, it's going to be Quinn, who I'm friends with, Brian Johnson, Lindsay, my buddy Jimmy the hair guy, his girlfriend Michelle is really nice. And like, those are just the people off
Michelle
the
the
top.
bald cap,
Yes. Ming is going to go, Ming Chen.
the merciless.
Those are the people that I know really well. But guess who else
Yeah.
is going to be on there? Sabrina, the #1 fun bear.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I think a ton of people from all over the world are going to be on
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of people that I know a little bit as well.
that
as
guy
like
that's been sending you death threats, he's going.
No, I'm
Oh,
staying
you
home.
can't.
yeah.
That was funny.
I pointed at him at the same time
Yeah.
too. So I think it will be a lot of people I know.
Yeah, it
which
is.
would be
It's
cool.
a very different experience because
Yeah.
for me, like those excursions and stuff, I've never paid for an excursion on one of those ships. That's the thing. Like if I did that, I would have to pay for it, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same way if I went to one of the restaurants, I'd have to pay for it.
Yeah.
If I drank alcohol, I'd have to pay for it.
Yeah.
The excursions I've never done because I also don't want to. The idea of like showing up and being like, I'm going to do that whitewater rafting thing with you guys. hey, 8 other people from the boat that know me as the comedian. And as soon as I sit down in the boat with my helmet and my too tight life jacket, they're going to go, some fucking guy, some 55-year-old dude is going to elbow his wife. And go, oh, they're doing a comedy show on the raft. Oh, watch out. He's going to be real fun. And then like say some like reference to something I did. And I'm like, and I have to paddle.
And then you're going to be like, is this ride really bumpy? And they're going to be like, and you're like, I'm trying to get a real answer out of you.
I notice everybody else is clipped in. I'm not clipped. Is that a problem? No, really.
Oh, he's doing some physical comedy. He fell out of the raft.
This is my Twilight Zone episode. Just like the guy that survives in the bank vault when the bombs drop. And he has all the time to read, and then he breaks his glasses. I'm a comedian drowning in rapids, going, please help me. And everybody's like, ha, 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 ha.
And you're like, oh, it's the laughter I've so desperately craved.
That is a nightmare.
Wow. I love it, too. If
Genuinely.
you're on the raft and you're going back and forth and trying to keep yourself... Everyone's fucking dying.
And then one guy pushes me. He's like, ah,
I'm part of the show.
He's like, I was trying to help.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Large man found dead in Belize.
Large, hilarious man.
His greatest joke. It's like a Houdini, like it's supposed to be like a trick. His greatest trick, right? And they're his greatest joke. And just the bloated dead corpse in Colombia. And then the cartels see me and they're like, he's going to go back for a funeral, right? We can fit so much cocaine in that body. Look at that cavern.
There's so many migrants.
I burst open. Oh my God. It comes out. Somebody at my funeral leans over and goes,
See your casket.
yeah. And I'm like, and they're like, is this a gender reveal party? It's very complicated.
It's like a clown car.
Hold on. Wait, was he pregnant?
Thunk, thunk, thunk. I don't know. Feel his dead penis. One kid actually comes out through it. It's like Jim Carrey coming out of the fake rhinoceros. These are all really funny images of my dead, bloated corpse.
Your mouth. The woman coming.
Oh no, I was picturing it like at the funeral home, and it's just open, and they keep trying to shut it, but every time it just falls open. But yeah, so my experience is a little different.
Yeah.
No, I try and stay away from that stuff just because we've talked about that weird, very alien feeling of everyone knows who you are, but you don't know any of those people.
Yeah.
And it's the same conversation every single time.
Yeah.
And how kind of inescapable it is. Like if you're lucky, I would go out and at ports go out and into the places and try
Turkish
and
coffee,
see stuff.
yeah.
But even that, like I'm in Istanbul, I'm on a tram going towards the Blue Mosque, and I get on the tram and I just hear Ray, and it's a couple. Thankfully, they were awesome. They were really nice. They're from Jersey. I brought up to them the ham. The what is it?
Taylor pork. Taylor ham.
Or pork roll. And they laughed. They loved it. And he's like, "Nope, I'm a Taylor ham man. I'm a Taylor ham man."
Yeah.
But that's my point. Is even in Istanbul, it's still, hey Ray. You know, every airport after ships, every airport, no matter what, it's happened at every single one. Hey Ray.
Yeah.
I hear it everywhere. I'm in Rome. I'm in fucking Anchorage, Alaska. Hey Ray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway. It is a different experience. I think you're going to have a lot of fun because you'll be with the people to have fun with.
Yeah,
you
don't have a wet blanket holding you back.
That's right. I think that Brad usually,
I think you would have fun.
You hold me back,
I'm a
but then
soaking wet blanket.
But then you keep me warm.
That's not how
a wet blanket works.
Yeah, you'll die.
Yeah.
Well, and
you're going to
you know what?
hypothermic.
In the heat, you keep me cool.
All right. Well, also,
I'll be in Miami
for a little while.
You'd say I make you look cool just by sheer comparison.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not sweating. It's this wet blanket. You would find the library and stay there.
Oh yeah.
There's always a little tiny library.
Really?
All right. Port is left. Starboard is right. But port and left both have 4 letters.
Oh, I got
That's how you remember. The head.
Will my phone work?
Ooh, I don't know.
In the Bahamas, Possibly. I can say without question, when you're out on the ship, no.
No.
If you want to pay, unless they give it to you, there's like a Wi-Fi package that you can get to have Wi-Fi. But you know this from my stories of being on the high seas. The Wi-Fi is fucking terrible. Yeah. So I don't know if the Bahamas they must have cell towers and stuff, but you're going to pay roaming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Any other tips, tricks?
It's funny because in my head, then
don't think that you're gonna think of everything you would have in a hotel room smaller. Yeah, everything's smaller and like kind of bolted down,
right?
Because nothing can move around.
Yeah,
right?
they don't want anything to move. Yeah,
the bathroom, unless you have like a really nice room. Again, this is only coming from the crew side.
Yeah,
where the bathroom is the size of a fucking phone booth, and that's the toilet, sink, and shower. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's awful.
Yeah, I think that everything, I feel like I can predict almost everything.
Yeah.
But it's still weird to go into the unknown of like, well, I'm going to fly to Miami.
Yep.
I'm going to get an Uber to a hotel, stay over in a hotel, then get an Uber to the ship, or maybe whatever. If they might have a shuttle to a specific hotel.
Yeah.
And then go on the ship for 4 days.
And that's the way to do it, by the way. Go the night before.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've done both. A lot of times they'll put me up if I'm coming in late. Obviously, they can't have me on the boat yet. But those times when I have flown and then done embarkation on the same day, by the time you're done, you're just like, I don't know. Just point me to a room that's mine and alone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, and then, or just point me to a room.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. I will say, poop deck, not what you think. So that's the most obvious joke. That's a joke that somebody tells you on the tram. I'm so sorry. I apologize to our Funbearable listener viewers for that. I'm sorry.
I think you're supposed to swab the poop deck. Like that's a thing that Donald Duck has to do whenever he goes to the Navy, I think.
And that documentary that you watched? Yeah.
Yeah.
That World War II one?
All the decks are going to have to be swabbed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be my responsibility, I don't think.
Well,
you never know.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, just know that you're going to be around a whole lot of people, right? The pool, imagine the commercial for that pool and how it's like that couple, like 30, 40-year-old couple out on the pool lounging and doing their thing. Just understand, like, that's not what it is. It's a fucking mess. It's millions of people, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I see. That's the thing is like I guess that's part of it too. Is I don't have a great grasp on the amount of people that will be on this or how big the boat is. I've never been on a boat like this.
Google it. Give it a Google.
Will
Google
you
it.
let Ray and I choose the swimsuit that you wear for the duration of the trip?
Ooh,
I
think
you
that's
trust
good.
us?
I think that's good for the rest of the cruisers as well, because that way we know you will wear one. Because I think you are already showing us what you would have worn.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah, I have it in my pocket.
Ooh, it stinks. Ooh.
Yeah, it's one of those things, the unknown. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's a ton of people I know. I already have someone to split a hotel with the night before. And then, who cares? I'm going to go up there and come back.
That's
No big
fun.
deal. Yeah.
Maybe pull a Kyle Kinane in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Pull your...
Catch of the day.
Yeah, do the catch of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
That's very fun.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to hearing how you feel. You know what's funny? Like I know you're going to have fun with the people that are there for the thing that you're there for, right? The IJ experience and doing all that stuff. And I think it wasn't the whole thing. The whole reason you're going is, you know how Steve-O used to do crazy outrageous stuff?
Yep.
And like staple his nutsack to his thigh, and he's since decided not to. His idea of outrageous has changed. So he's just going to go for a quiet meal with you. And people watch.
Yeah, right.
I was going for a goof.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to hear just your general experience of like the ship and what it's like to take a cruise, any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's funny because I do also wonder if there's a difference between like, here's a cruise and we have some entertainment, and this is an entirely themed cruise.
Yeah.
Because Sixth Man this is the cruise that, I'm going on. They also did the Warped Tour cruise the one year they did it, and they do like all like those It's the Kiss cruise, and it's it's
yeah.
all the themed.
I did a kissing cruise.
Yes, that's right.
Very different.
Yeah,
I did cruise kissing, and I had to kiss a crew.
Terry Crews.
No, I wish.
Yeah,
just
I wish.
just a
Same
crew.
Here.
Yeah.
Same here with mine.
Any old crew.
Any old crew.
Yeah, I had so many cold sores when I got back from the kissing crew.
I will
cruise.
say, looking at the schedule of all the stuff,
Yeah.
it does seem pretty exhausting.
Sure.
Like it's a lot of stuff.
Oh, you get to come home and say the thing that it might be one of my most hated cliches.
What's that?
I need a vacation from this vacation. I hate that so much.
I might say that.
Yeah.
I have a couple things I hate like that.
What?
I hate wakey, eggs and bakey.
Yep.
How many times do you hear that though?
Every time he shares a hotel room with this guy.
Anytime I happen to be near some eggs and bacon.
I love eggs and bacon.
I hate wakey, eggs and bakey, and I hate easy,
Eggs and bakey,
and I
yeah.
hate easy peasy lemon squeezy. I fucking
You know, there was another version of that.
What about okie dokie artichoke?
that one's okay. What?
Have you heard the other one? The lemon squeezy used to be something else.
Easy peasy Japanesey. That's not offensive, is it?
Yeah.
Well, what are they saying?
I don't know, but it just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
How about easy peasy nice and easy? Wait, no, because easy was at the beginning.
I mean, you know,
What about easy peasy peasy easy?
maybe in a future,
It's gonna go the same way.
maybe in a future episode, we can come up with different versions of all these cliches.
Huh.
Yeah, that'd
and
be
now
better.
we know it was my idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Instead of wakey, eggs and bakey, I'd love a line that's like, feel free to sleep in as long as you like. We're going to go do stuff and we're going to
Yeah.
be really quiet about it.
You were boozing, now you're snoozing.
Oh, yeah, I don't booze that much. I might booze a little on the cruise, but
Okay,
like,
how about hit the snooze button when you get up? There's some mutton, like you
Oh,
can eat
I love
there.
that.
Trying
Yeah.
to do the eggs and bakey.
yeah, but it's going to be
We
fun.
should save this for another
Yeah.
episode
Yeah,
that
possibly.
Brad will helm.
I'd love to. Leader of the car.
But it'll be fun. And,
Ooh, get used to announcements
okay.
at inopportune
In my
times.
room?
If there's a real thing that they need to tell everybody, they will come through your room. This is tricky though because I'm on the crew side. So often that'll happen. They practice the alarm at one point.
Oh, yeah.
When you're early on.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Don't be in the bathroom when that happens. It is a hellscape. You are in there. I was sitting on this very tiny toilet. Just like, I think it was the first cruise I went on for work. And I'm sitting on this tiny, tiny toilet. I have to pivot my body when I'm on this tiny,
Right.
tiny toilet because my knees are jamming into the sink. This is true. So imagine weeks of this, by the way.
Yep.
Weeks. So I'm doing that. The last one I was on, I realized, hey, this works a lot easier if I put one leg in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm in
That's
there.
pretty good.
There's a whole speaker unit in the bathroom,
Yeah.
this tiny, tiny little closet. And they did the alarm thing. And it was like an old episode of the original Star Trek where Kirk and Spock are like over dramatically grabbing their ears and like, make it stop. Like that's what it felt like in there. It was a nightmare.
I love that.
Just think half amusement park, half hotel. That's what it is.
Cool.
And all the smiles are from people that are trained to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All the, oh, yes, sir, absolutely, that kind of stuff. And the biggest piece of advice I would give you, genuinely, and this goes for any of our viewer listeners,
Bring Imodium.
that's a good one as well.
Yep.
Definitely bring some Bonine. Bonine is
Bonine?
good. Yeah.
What's that?
There's what's the other one for motion sickness?
Dramamine?
Dramamine.
Yeah.
There's Dramamine. Bonine is it has way less of the drowsiness. So I take Bonine. It's perfect. It's so cheap. Get it on Amazon right now. It'll show up in 2 days for like $6.
Yeah.
Take it and you'll be happy. Take it before you feel anything. That's
Okay.
like that. Just
Yeah.
pop it in the morning. You'll be all set all day.
Yeah.
But the genuine piece of advice is this: having been on the other side of it, on the crew side, that's the only experience I know of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be angels to the people that are around you working.
Yeah.
Just be nice to every waiter or waitress or porter or cook or housekeeper, everybody, because they are on that ship for contracts that are like 3 months at the shortest.
Yeah.
Most of like the behind the scenes work of like the laundry, the housekeeping, the porters, people like that.
Yeah.
A lot of your servers.
Yeah.
You know, English as a second language, a lot of South American folks, stuff like that are being paid so fucking little. There are times where I'm like, is this borderline indentured servitude?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I shouldn't
yeah.
say any of this stuff because I still would like to be employed by them so I can go on fun trips. But that's my biggest piece of advice. I've seen too many people be shit heels.
Can I do my joke?
Go for it, please.
Can I get this steak medium rare? How about I just go kill myself instead? Would that be better?
In Chuck, in like the Chuck way of it, he'd be like, "Look at this steak. Look at this steak. I asked for medium rare. Does that look? That looks like
I don't do
looks-
that to people in
Well,
restaurants.
it doesn't. It looks
he doesn't.
well.
He does.
Yeah.
He does it to the people he's sitting with.
Yeah,
What should I
that's
do?
what-
What should I do?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't-
yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't eat.
Can you
this.
imagine that?
I
What
don't
would you
eat
do in
this.
that situation? Would you? I know I can't do it. And then like 2 days later on the boat, they're sitting somewhere else. He's like, "Remember when that steak came out?" No, I'm kidding. No. I just be nice to
Yeah, of
all of
course.
them because I've seen people like treat people like dicks. Like
Of
it
course.
really sucks.
Yeah.
But it is freeing for me to be able to be a kind of a dick back to that person on behalf of
The crew.
Yep.
the crew.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
you're
fun.
like on team crew.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They won't give me a shirt. Keep asking for the shirt, but they won't give me the shirt.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't want to bore the listeners with too much more of my. Like,
No,
I
you'll
want
have
it to
fun.
Be good, you know. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, you'll have fun, and we'll have to hear about it when you get back.
Yeah.
If you get back.
If,
I hope
yeah.
some- I
if,
hope
if
some-
this isn't a murderous cruise,
Right.
Yeah.
what if there is a murder and you have to solve the case?
Now that's a fun cruise.
If he has to solve the case, that means everyone else has been murdered. It's him on a boat alone going, "Who did this?"
and it all happened.
And who's next?
It all happened in the morning, and he was sleeping in, and he wakes up, and there's just
Yeah.
corpses.
yeah.
Oh.
That would be crazy.
He's like, "Oh, cool, no line at Starbucks." And then he's at Starbucks. He's like, "Nobody's here to serve me."
Wakey, you made a huge mistake.
Whoa!
that's funny.
But yeah, I think you'll have a lot of fun. I'm really interested to hear what you think about like the experience of just a cruise in general.
Yeah.
I think yours will be deeply tainted by the fact that you're going for this like fun group thing.
Yes, for
You know?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when Ray and I go on the Funbearable cruise the same week, we'll miss
You didn't hear about that, did you?
No, I didn't.
we'll
I
miss
missed
you.
it.
It's
gonna be fun.
It's a canoe, and it's a pond.
Oh wow.
We're gonna be out there for 4 days.
No, those are the names of the ships.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Oh shit, Brad! I think you're very confused. This is a full big cruise.
Yeah.
I didn't sell any tickets.
Yeah.
And you didn't get a room. You didn't get a cab.
Oh, no.
No.
I said you should get one, and you laughed and laughed. Oh, this is another you thought I was making jokes, and here I am drowning in the river.
Yep, I'm the
Yep.
guy who pushed you in.
Damn.
So I did want to bring this up because something that's been kind of a running thing on our podcast is Ray and I having haircut issues. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed a pattern here that I've had haircut issues. You've had haircut issues. Brad has not had a haircut issue, and it's fucking maddening. It is maddening.
Well, he's his own
Who do you
barber.
go to? We should go to them.
I go to me.
We should have you cut our hair.
Can I tell? I have a friend from improv, and he's like, "Yeah, I was outside cutting my hair." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, I go outside with clippers because if I do it inside, the hair just gets everywhere." I'm like, "What do you do with your shirt?" He's like, "Well, I take my shirt off." I'm like, "So you're standing outside shirtless with clippers?"
In the winter?
And he's like, "Yeah." Blows my mind.
Can I offer?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, we should have like a star wipe because we have gone from one thing and now we're in the other one.
Cruise to
right?
haircuts.
Yeah, exactly. We cruised on through to haircuts,
Yep.
right? We buzzed by. There's too many puns. I'm happy with that. I think we're done with that. But
Yep.
it is funny where we went and scene.
Yeah.
And we
Yes,
started
yes.
the next thing. Can
Yeah.
we do it, Craig? Can we get a star? I want to start or a boop boop and have a ship go by. That's the transition.
And Ray in the crew thing in the porthole.
Brad, where are you?
Yeah.
He's on the land back in Rhode Island.
No, you're in a little dinghy on the back.
Get me out of here.
He's swimming afterwards with the floaties.
Ooh, tied to the front, like what about Bob? Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, you should be the mermaid at the front with the bosoms.
I like that.
Yeah. So
I cut my hair. He cuts it outside.
He cuts it outside.
Yeah.
I do not get my hair cut outside.
Right.
I go into a building for that.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. They've never given me the option.
Yeah.
Would sir care to take it to the veranda?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, not that high. Because I think that's like a term.
Natural light.
Yeah.
So maybe his hair does look good.
When I trim my beard, I used to do that in the bathroom and have all the beardy hairs around and have to clean it up and stuff. And
Yeah.
my wife, after a while, was just like, this is very annoying. She's like, put paper towel down or something. And it doesn't catch everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So during the summer,
You go outside?
I go outside and my sliding glass door, I stand in front of that because it has a reflection.
Oh,
That's funny.
And I just do it for fine, like if I'm doing
Yeah, yeah.
actual stuff. But when the guard thing is on and I'm just doing
Yeah.
a certain length, I just do it out there. I buzz it down.
See, my secret is living alone and feeling unlovable, and so I just cut my hair wherever. I cut my hair in bed. Who cares?
Ooh, in bed.
Yeah, I don't.
I trim my pubes in bed.
Yeah.
Because that's where, I mean, you're laying down, it's right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it done.
when I have to trim Chuck's pubes, it's usually in his bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
right.
true. But I thought that was part of the play.
It is.
But I here's my issue. My beard right now, I wanted to trim it. I've wanted to trim it for like 4 days, but we're having like a colder snap. And all I've been thinking is last week we had some like 50-degree days. I'm
Yeah.
like, why didn't I do it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I need to trim it. But in the winter, it is like, well, where do I do this?
Oh, I see.
You know? What I need to start doing is bring my trimmer when I'm staying in hotels for
Yeah.
comedy.
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Do it in there. But I feel bad for the
You know?
housekeeper that has to clean up the hair.
Can't
Chuck,
you- can't
do
you-
it in Chuck's bed?
How good are you? I mean, to me, when
Yeah.
you clean up the hair, aren't you getting like 98% of it?
I'm getting a lot of it, but the problem is it's just like it's beard hair.
I know, it's weird.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
in places. You
It's
know what
little,
I mean?
yeah, it's little.
I also do it. I'm whipping my head
Yeah,
around.
you're having fun.
You know,
I
I'm really
know, I get
I'm
excited
bouncing
too.
off the wall. I'm
Yeah.
jumping off the toilet seat. I'm peeing everywhere.
Yeah, you pee the whole time. It's almost impressive.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
So yeah, I got to go out and do that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a better idea for the beard thing? We all have facial hair.
I'll tell you what I do, because like my situation is a little different. Similar concern though, because I'm more like I don't want to wash it down the sink because I don't want my sink to get clogged. So what I do is I trim over the sink, and then I take toilet paper and I wipe everything and I
Yeah.
throw it away.
Yeah, that's what I used to do as well.
And I know what you mean. And it's like if you're like I want to get this 100%, you just keep going around the ring and keep
just-
doing the little things. I know.
No matter what I've done in the past, like I'm really gonna get all of it.
Yeah.
I always feel like there's just a little bit here, a little bit there. Like there's one there that I didn't catch.
Yeah.
Or it was wet and I didn't get that one, or I try to do it and now there's two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Is the
So
alternative? I mean,
just
you
grow
know.
it out, ZZ top it.
yeah.
Ooh.
A shower shave.
You're still going down the drain.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
But
like
also,
that.
you can't see it so good because I used to have a shower
Yeah.
mirror for shaving,
A shearer.
and even no matter how much
shearer.
it says like anti-fog, it always gets fogged. You can't see it. There's not a light in your shower for the most part. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, you shower in the dark,
I do shower in the dark.
and you're afraid of crocodiles bursting through the walls.
Yeah.
That's true.
Huh. I don't think you should be able to shave.
I know.
Yes.
But
It's
no,
a safety reason.
that is a thing. I genuinely don't know.
So we all have
Yeah.
haircut issues.
So here's the deal. Famously,
Yes.
Ray and I have the same hairdresser. We had the same hairdresser.
Had. I've got my stepdad that I'm making
Okay.
steps with.
We had one, Maddie. She moved down to like 3 days a week. She has a lot of regulars. Hard to get an appointment.
Can I be honest with you? Mm-hmm. She told me I can get an appointment anytime. She said she actually just took on an extra day so she got more time.
So whatever. Hard to get an appointment, and also I will say it's a lot my fault too because I'm more like, hey, I'm coming to Rhode Island tomorrow. Can I get an appointment? You know what I mean? A lot of times I'm not sure when I'm going to be here, and so
And you call her at like 2 in the morning.
yeah. And I was like, I
need you.
I gotta find a place in New York, and
Yeah.
I already tried. I don't know if I talked about it in the podcast. Remember, I got the $100 haircut.
Yes.
It was like $91 or something.
Yeah.
So that scared me off.
Yeah, John Travolta was with you, and he's like, I got to get one too. I got to know what the $100 haircut is for. I can't do a John Travolta. I just learned that just now.
You probably could if you tried for like practice.
Oh my God. Nope. It's not there.
Oh, I don't know.
That's your in?
I think it's where you start, Cotter.
Oh, yeah, like Mr. Cotter. Oh, no.
Wait.
I don't even know. Can I be honest? I've never seen a single episode of the Mr. Cotter, Welcome Back Cotter show.
It's a fun show.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, you were in it.
He was the principal.
Old man principal.
Old man principal. That's been my best role. I've played old man.
It's old man principal. Oh no, that's like Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I have played old man principal in so many films and shows.
We used to
A lot
refer
of
to
porns too.
we used to refer to him as Principal Robot.
Yeah. Stop eating
Isn't that a-
bugs. Bleep bloop.
Beep boop. Yeah. So
All right.
I was scared off of that because of my $91 haircut.
Yeah.
My fault. I should have. I got to be honest. Everyone's like, you didn't check the website. I don't know if they're going to put all the prices on the website. That's not usually how it works. But I should have asked somehow. Whatever.
What's this going to run me?
Yes. So I started looking around. I'm like, I got to find a place in New York to get haircuts. I looked up. I Googled it. Found place near me. 10 minutes away. Less than that. 8 minutes maybe. 4.7 rating on Google. That's
Pretty
good.
good.
That's a good rating.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
I call. I say, excuse me. Yes, I just wondering, do you guys do men's cuts? They said, yes, we do. I said, oh, that's great. Do you have any openings today? They said, actually, can you come in? If you come in between 2:30 and 3:30, we don't have any appointments during that time. I said, great. I went in to get my hair cut.
Can I ask a question? Did you have to ask the other place, do you cut men's hair as well?
Yeah.
I think we've hit on an issue. I think you need to look for.
I don't like
barber.
barbershops. I don't
Why?
like them because of the thing that you go up against with barbershops.
But my old barber,
Oh, yeah, your old barber.
genuine friend.
I know.
Miss the guy.
I don't know.
He was wonderful.
My ex-girlfriend made me go to a barbershop one time for my birthday.
Yeah.
She was like, I want you to go to a barbershop. And I was like, that's okay. And so she got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
And so I had to go. And they were
Oh.
like, yeah, these trans people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
But
anti-trans stuff?
you can find a reasonable person for sure.
I know, but it's probably
For sure.
tough to know. Like the idea of if there's like 10 barbershops,
Yeah.
how do you pick which one might be not a weirdo?
But I think a lot of times the barber shop itself kind of tells you who runs it.
Maybe.
The way it looks, what
Maybe.
the design is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look it up online too. See what the reviews say, and you can generally tell. Also,
Yes.
why not take the risk on, is this the right person that I want to go to each time versus can they cut my hair well? Because if I feel like if you go to a barber, your story walking out of there, if it's a poor experience, is going to be, I don't like the vibe in there and the guy is mean. Or
Yes.
something like that. Or he's rude or
Yeah,
he
yeah.
says really inappropriate shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're going to walk out with a head of hair that's
like.
that's fine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll look
Versus
into
going,
it.
because women, like salons, yes, they cut men's hair. They don't specialize in it. A lot of times they don't even have the same fucking tools, you know?
Oh, yeah. So, well,
So
here's
that's my advice to you.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. What if I do the exact opposite?
My attitude journal.
Yeah.
That's my general feeling when
So
anyone
now I'm going to a pet grooming place.
anyone
they're
gives me
fucking it up.
advice. What if
I say, give me the golden doodle.
And what is this? This is just straight French poodle.
This is so French poodle. Look at the little bow. The little tufts on the side. They did wash my asshole, though. So that was nice.
So I'm going back every day.
Every day.
So I said, you do men's haircuts? They said, yes, come in between 2:30 and 3:30.
Yeah.
I go in, very nice people that work there, and they say, all right, here's Cecily. She's going to do your hair.
And it's a salon, right? Yeah.
It's a salon.
Yeah.
This woman is like 60-something,
Okay.
mid to late.
Sure.
And I'm like,
A lot of experience.
I don't want to be ageist. I don't know if this person is in touch with the haircuts of today. Or is she more in touch with the haircuts of yesteryear?
She works at a salon. One would
Yeah.
think she.
Okay.
It's,
well,
it's not like
It's her job.
It's not like, oh, it's her first day back after 50 years.
Everyone in a coma.
I'm going to tell you this. Besides this room, everyone else I talk to, including young women and people who are in hair, are like, you should have walked out right then when you saw how old she was. Everyone.
That's weird.
Every single person.
That's weird because, like, I know barbers that are like older that do a good head of hair.
I don't know. This is
I
my
don't
thing. I'm kind of honestly.
Aren't we splitting her?
I'm kind of in your boat where I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be aged. I mean, I thought it was a little weird. She's a lot older
Sure.
than normal people, but I was like, whatever.
I think I would rather have an older person cut my hair if I would, like an elderly person, cut my hair as a man than I would a woman. I feel like styles for women are far more than for men.
True.
Most men's styles are really just like adapting a standard thing.
I agree.
It's like, here's the 4 men's haircuts. And then here are 3 sub options that you can pick.
That's exactly right. So I went up to her and I said, hey, my name is Chuck.
Give me all of it.
And she said, how do you like your hair? And when I go to Maddie, our hairdresser that I really, really like and does a great job, a lot of times afterwards, I'll take a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
And it's with the thought of like, this is for if I have to show someone else what I like to make my haircut to be.
Yeah.
So I have a ton of those pictures and I already pulled them up before I got there to have them at the ready. And I was like, here, and I'm swiping. I'm like this on the side, this on the side.
Sorry, that's my penis.
Yep. And I swipe.
Sorry, that's Brad's penis.
Yeah.
This is a drawing of what I think Ray's penis looks like.
Enlarging.
Siri enhance. Siri enhance.
So she's like, okay, cool.
Dehance.
And I sit down and she goes, so she uses clippers? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Because like she does short here.
All right, but I got to use 2 hands to hold them. They're so heavy. Oh, the idea she's vibrating, holding. All right, okay.
In my day, we had to hold the clippers with one hand and twist with the other.
And by the
You
way,
have the female version of the Six Flags old man at the bottom.
you know, I love that song. That's a good song.
Yeah,
And
that's in your sex mix.
and
That is his sex mix.
so it's weird because like I go.
He broke for a second. For 1 second, his brain stroked out.
No, I was gonna
You were
say
thinking about your sex mix.
when I go to
What else is in it?
When I go to other hair people, a lot of times they'll be like, "Do you use a 2 or 1 or a blah blah?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just Maddie does it. She's been doing it for so long." So she said, "Do you use clippers?" And I said, "Yeah, she uses clippers."
When I've gotten a haircut I like, I ask what number. And now when I go into my stepdad barber, who's not my actual stepdad, that's just shorthand for the relationship.
Yeah.
I'm a teenager finding my way, and he's my stepfather who's like, he needs tough love.
Yeah.
So I know I'll call him the F word a bunch. Not that one, the other one. It goes with the Q word. No, now I go in and he's like, number 2 on the sides, right? I'm like, yeah. Or
Yeah.
I'll be like, I do a 1.5. And he's like, all right, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I told her, yeah, that's cool. And she takes the clippers. I'm not exaggerating.
She starts to fall backwards.
I'm not exaggerating when I say what she did. She put it below the back of my ear. Okay, sounds fine. That's where you would clip a little bit. That's short.
Yeah.
And she goes up and across the top of my skull.
No.
All the way to the other ear.
At that very moment, I would be like, I've made a huge mistake and I can only live with it. You know what I mean?
That's basically what I said. I was like, ugh. Like I saw it and I was like, and she went across the top.
She's like, oh, don't worry. I clench up when I use them too.
Which like, I don't know what haircut that would be appropriate for.
I will say, recently we released the mail sack episode where a listener viewer wrote in and talked about the story of her dad getting shaved head. And Mamir was really upset because she said it was making fun of cancer patients. Yeah. So maybe that's the haircut you were going to get.
Or maybe that's Mamir.
So she goes across the top, which I'm just like shocked and appalled. I'm like, this can't be right.
The clippers being too much for this elderly woman is so fun. She's like, whoa.
It's like the Ghostbusters using the packs for the first time.
Yeah. And
the Mr. Bean of it all.
Yes.
Like her falling back, but using the cord to pull herself back up.
That's funny.
Yeah. She's like, whoo, right over the top.
So I'm just like, I'm kind of in disbelief.
Yeah.
But part of me, the hopeful man inside, is like, she's doing it right. And this is just a great new look.
This is how it was in the 40s.
Yeah, I was like, maybe she's just doing what I normally do, but a little shorter.
Maybe in her head, she's like, well, any other time I've cut a young man's hair, it's right before he's about to go off to war. Got to do it real short and close.
So she's buzzing and clipping.
We don't want Jerry grabbing onto his hair.
I don't even know who Jerry is. I know Charlie.
Slang for the Germans.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So she,
Jerry's going to pull his hair.
So she's
And Charlie.
she-
Jerry, Charlie.
what are the other ones? Who's Russian? Rusty?
No, they don't. They didn't have a name for that.
No, they were
I
our
think we
allies.
The
stopped.
Ruskies.
Yeah,
The Ruskies.
a
Ruskies,
Ruski or a
Yeah.
commie.
Oh,
yeah.
commie.
But I think name-wise,
Yeah.
it was just
Jerry and
and Charlie.
Yeah.
So she's giving me the old Jerry Charlie, and
Yeah.
she's buzzing and she's clipping, and I'm in my heart of hearts, I know that I'm going down a dark path, but in my I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to be a hopeful man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is going to be the best haircut. I'm going through a life-changing moment that's going to be a positive thing. And she's buzzing and cutting, and like at the end, she's like, all right, and like I thought it was. I remember we ended. And then I was like, you didn't do the front at all. And she was like, oh, yeah. And then she did the front, which is crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And my hair was so long. Remember when you said I had really high hair?
Yeah.
Yes.
You look
That's-
like Dan Aykroyd.
That's when I went in and she did a buzz across the top and left my front as long as it was.
Oh, man.
How
She
crazy-
Dan Aykroyded you?
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
So I was like, this is.
My favorite actor. That
So I was
young
like-
man from the comedy show I used to watch.
So I was like, this is abhorrent. And she's doing the front. And I can tell that not only is it fucked up, but it's like not even anywhere. And she doesn't even ask me if I like it. She's like, here are your glasses. Get out of here, kid. And I was like, okay. And I go to the front and she's like, I don't know, she maybe it was like $21, $23. And of course I'm still going to tip her. Right.
Sure, yeah.
And she's like, okay. And I give her the credit card and she gives it back to me. She's like, okay. And I'm like, can I have the receipt so I can write a tip on it? She goes, we can't take tips on credit cards. And I'm like, okay. I don't have any cash. She's like,
Yeah.
and I go,
Well, I guess I'm not having lunch today.
I go, I'm not going to leave without giving you a tip. And she goes, there's an ATM.
Oh, no.
So I had to leave and go to an ATM. I paid a $4.50 service fee because it's not my.
Can I be honest with you? The second I'm out the door,
I'm not
I
coming
go,
back.
I'm never coming back.
Yep.
I'm calling this a wash. I'm going to have to get this recut.
Oh, yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but I don't know. There was something in me that's like, I don't want to be rude to this person. So I went and I got some money.
Plus, at that age, she's so close to being able to haunt you.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So I'm in the, and I go back in, I give her the money. I go back in my car and I'm feeling my hair. It feels long in weird places.
Yeah.
And I finally,
They said you would start feeling those weird changes.
I get home and I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit nervous and jittery because I'm like, what does my hair look like? And I start taking pictures around
Yeah.
my head to look at my camera. And I'm going to put the pictures up as we talk about this on the podcast.
Craig, as the pictures come up, what I want you to do is use like a flash of white between each one. Time it with the sound from the original Saw movie when it's pitch black in the guy's apartment, the photographer, and he's using his camera. So you hear the whine of the flash and you hear horror music as the pictures go by.
I was hoping for the music like, I will remember you.
Oh, no, they don't show dead dogs. They show dogs that can be rescued.
The picture of the back of my skull and being able to just see it completely because of how much she buzzed my head is fucking bananas. So I'm at my house.
You get used to it.
I'm looking at it. She fucked me all up. It's longer in the back and like there's little pieces and patches. She left like a big chunk to the left because she saw that I do my hair to the left. So I guess she thought she'd leave a chunk. I looked like I was so upset. And I was like, all right, the person I know that grew up in Staten Island that lives here is Staten Island Gina, my friend. So I called her and I was like,
It's so weird that you say that whole phrase every time you refer to her. Staten Island Gina, my friend.
you can call her Sig. And so I called Sig
Sig MF.
and I said, yo, I was like, and I explained this whole story.
Yo.
I was like, yo.
Well, that's Staten Island.
And legally, you have
No,
to
I was in Pennsylvania. Yo.
Yo.
You fucked me up.
my head up. Dude, fucking Ape fucked my head up.
Dude, April Phil fucked my head up so bad.
So bad. Look like a fucking idiot.
I look like Don Vito.
I look like fucking Dom Vito. She fucking buzzed my head so bad.
Dude, she fucking pushed my fucking head. So anyway, I was like, you gotta. I'm like, we gotta find someone who can do their best to fix this as much as possible. And I've already gone through
sobbing.
this. I really was like, I wasn't crying, but I was emotional and shaky.
Yeah, I think that hits hard. Like, you got to think for someone who's, you know, like a narcissist, like that shell. When that happens, that's like life altering. Really.
So I talked to her, and we've already gone. We've already done this dance where I'm like, "Who do you know on the island that I can cut my hair?" And she never really had an answer for me.
The island.
Yep.
Staten Island, and she's like, you know, and I
We
was,
knew which island.
Oh,
And the thing is,
Tahiti.
I
I
guess
was
for
thinking the whole
me,
time.
it's like I grew up knowing so many people that cut hair and do different things that I thought
Yeah.
maybe she'd know someone. She didn't know anybody at the time. But when I called her this time,
my noni does.
I was like,
takes him to that same woman. I'll fix it. Who fucked that up for you?
She goes,
You 4 hours ago. Oh,
so yeah. So I'm like, is there anyone? She goes, my mom used to cut hair a long time ago. Maybe she can fix it. And I was like, I'm not going down this weird road any further than I've already gone. I'm
the
not
state
taking
told her she couldn't do it anymore.
Last time I took a slight risk, this is what happened. So she said, you know what? There is a really nice place. I think it's called like
Super cuts.
something Lauren, but I have it in my phone, so it's fine.
Something fantastic.
Somebody, yeah. Hot Sam's.
Pam's.
So-
Fantastic Pam's.
So I was like, okay. And I'm like, I'm going to go to this place now. And I called. And I was like,
Barbershop or salon?
salon. And I called and I was like, do you guys do men's cuts? And they said, yes. And I said, can I ask you an uncomfortable question? And she said, yes. And I go, I went to a place. There was an older woman. I was nervous that maybe she wouldn't be able to cut my hair correctly. And boy, oh boy, was I right. And now I need someone to help me. I'm nervous about finding another older woman. I felt so guilty saying it, but this just happened to me.
Sure.
And she's like, no. She's like, you'll be fine here, blah, blah. I went the next day. Lucky that I got an appointment. I found this place.
Wait, you already went?
Oh. And like, you know, we've gone to Maddie's place, Magnolia.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Which, by the way, I don't feel comfortable there.
oh, I feel
I
comfortable.
feel comfortable with Maddie.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel comfortable there. I think, you know, we were talking about my size earlier, maybe in the last episode. I can't remember now.
Last episode.
Oh, we're talking about the cruise stuff.
Yeah, but it's just like I feel not right in the space. I feel
Interesting.
like a presence that people are like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I'm
'Cause
comfortable.
I'm not just a man. I'm a lot of man.
Yeah, I will say too, at Magnolia, the woman who cuts hair behind Maddie, I know her. And there's a woman that's
Oh, I
like,
know.
that's like in front of her to the right, and I know her.
Yeah, I know.
And so like,
Because I'm in the middle of all the shit they're saying.
and so
Your ears probably haven't been burning, but I bet your heart has been.
they have. So I'm comfortable there.
Yeah.
This new place feels just like that. And I walk in, I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable. I meet the lady who's going to cut my hair. She's probably like 35, maybe 31. I don't know.
Practically a baby.
Yeah. Compared to the other woman.
Well, compared to me.
And I was like, listen, I know my hair is fucked up. I know that you can't bring my hair back to life. I go, but I don't think it's even. And I don't think that it's like as good as it could be. And she's like, it's definitely not even. It's all fucked up in the back. There are patches that are longer than others. She's like, the front's not even. I go, so whatever we can do. And she fixed it. And that was maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was before Christmas.
It was, yeah, it was like a week and a half before Christmas. It was like 3 weeks ago. So this is my hair. This is why it's been so short on all the January episodes. And it was short for the Christmas episode, but I wore a top hat. And it's really, really short.
That lady gave it to you, right?
She goes, I can do my best.
husband's.
She said, here's what you can do to fix your hair. And she gave me a top hat.
It belonged to my Philip.
Yeah.
And you can have it now.
So she really helped me a lot. She was
Yeah.
very nice. I put her name in my phone. Like, that's who I'm going to go to now.
Yeah.
So the positive way to look at it is now I did find a hairdresser in
Yeah.
New York that I really like and trust. But now I'm stuck with this short hair for a while.
It does seem wild that you won't go to a barber.
Yeah, I was nervous.
I mean, your comfort level, you do you. Right?
I was uncomfortable beforehand, and then I
Yeah.
was pushed into it, and it was worse than I expected. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Is it because you watched the movie Barbershop and you're like,
I fit in with those guys perfect.
You would get knocked the fuck out.
Are you kidding me? Me and Ice
No.
Cube? Who's in that movie?
I think Ice Cube's
Ice Cube's in
Chris
it.
Tucker,
Chris Tucker,
Terry Crews.
I would be friend. Are you kidding me? This is like
I would kiss Terry Crews.
that's like 3 of me. Are you kidding?
I mean, the volume of Chris Tucker, yes. Let's see.
Plus his style in Fifth Element.
Get that haircut.
Craig, please put an insert so people get that joke. 'Cause I don't know how many people will.
Yeah. Corbin, my man! That's from Fifth Element because the Bruce Willis is Corbin.
Yeah.
And he said so many times in the mic, Corbin, my man!
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's a weird thing. Like, I think, I was raised by women.
Right.
Yep. I felt comfortable going to a woman. That was fine.
We're soft
There
boys.
was never
We've
ever.
said it.
Yeah, there was never an issue with that. But time and again, what's been shown to me, like Maddie's a great hairstylist.
Yes.
She's great.
Yeah.
But there is just a difference in those two services where there are different tool sets that come with it. There are different like a little zhuzhes that can be there.
Sure.
Like when I go get my haircut from Stepdad Barber, it's a very reasonable price right by my house. I show up, he cuts my hair very well, uses the clippers, knows how to do it right, lines up my beard a little bit, right? If I want to, he'll do the whole beard if I, pay for the extra there. The dude washes my hair afterwards, which is so key.
Yep.
I don't take a shower after a haircut anymore because he takes care of that problem,
Yep.
right? I always used to take a shower before I went to get a haircut and then right when I got home.
Yeah,
now
me
I
too.
don't do that. And then he does like a whole thing. He gives me he does like a whole facial basically. Puts on little things, has little scrubbers that go.
Yeah.
Wraps a hot towel around my face, puts steam on there.
Wow.
Then I get up.
I
And
never
he
had the steam
fucking-
face.
He finishes it up. He puts that awesome Pinaud, Pinaud brand powder. I love the smell of that.
Ooh.
Puts that on, gives me a little dust off.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. And those are things that I think I'm paying like a little less than I was Maddie. And none of that stuff came with it. Rightfully so. She is a hairstylist.
Right.
Women don't want a bunch of the things that this guy does.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it is a thing, and I really like it. Speaking of that Pinot, I think it's like Clubman or something. The powder. I have a weird thing about haircuts. I love the smell of a fresh haircut.
Yeah. Me too.
It's a little bit of the clipper
Yeah.
grease.
Yeah.
A little hint of that.
Yeah.
That Clubman Pinot or whatever powder
Yeah.
that they do on your neck and stuff smells so good. There's something about that haircut thing, and I was like, I need to find something that replicates the smell. I want that as like a cologne.
Yeah.
I want to smell like a fresh haircut.
Wow, it's a
Yeah.
very Kramer moment for you.
Yeah,
right here.
really.
Wow.
And it did he have that specific
He
thing?
had the beach.
Oh,
the
right,
The
yes.
cologne of the beach.
But it's so funny because like I'll get a haircut, I go home, and my wife, she's like, "Oh my god, you smell so good." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That kind of thing. And I love the smell of it. And it's like masculine but clean.
Right.
I don't do like, you're not going to catch me putting some jupe on or something. You know what I mean? Aquadigio or whatever.
Yeah.
CK1. What other ones can we come up with?
I mean, Cool Water,
Cool water.
David
That's a big
Off.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a Dracula one?
a Dracar Noir.
Dracula one.
I just
Smell it. What do you smell? What do you think of?
I always wonder how many things I'm confused about in life. You know what I mean?
I like
all of them.
yeah. I like how you're like Dracula.
Isn't there? So Dracar Noir.
Yeah.
Isn't there
Yeah.
a bat on it?
No.
No. I don't think there's a bat on any of the colognes. I don't think somebody goes, "Ooh, what's that bat
Every
bottle?"
toiletry I use has a bat on it.
Yeah, what's that parfum over there? Is that a-
It's Batman bat vitamins for little bats, and Chuck's like,
oh no, he takes one and goes,
Remember the time?
rubs it on his neck and his wrist. Ooh, what is that scent?
Remember the
Flintstones
time
chewable.
you guys came to my house?
Yes.
In New York. Brad found children's
You have a house
vitamins.
in New York?
Brad found children's vitamins.
"Oh, it's on the island."
And I was
yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
To prove to me
Yeah.
that they were for children.
And it says in like big block letters, "for children."
Yep.
It doesn't.
It's like, what? I bought the ones with the font of Comic Sans.
It's very confusing. I thought they were totally normal.
You know what? Like, it's a vitamin. Eat it. Like, it does, like the important thing is you're getting your nutrition because you're a growing boy.
Yeah. But I did find the cologne.
Remember you were going through,
yeah.
you were going through all the steps of like, here's why it's for children. Because
Yes.
I was fighting you on
There
it.
was like four.
It was like
4 obvious indicators.
It was like it's called like first step.
Yeah. All the vitamins are in the shapes of like just the first 5 letters of the alphabet. You're like, I thought that was the vitamin. Vitamin C, vitamin A.
So all right. So I think she did a great job fixing the haircut as well as it could be fixed.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be a little short for a while. That's okay. It's not a big deal.
You know what's weird is that I was cutting the clips, and some of that involves like moving, zooming in on Chuck and moving him down a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't have to move him so far down because his hair is so much shorter than normal.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
The following week, I had an important meeting,
Okay.
and I was getting ready for my meeting.
Yeah.
Custody.
I was all set. I was all ready to go to my meeting. I go into the bathroom in the morning. I get ready. I do my hair as it can
Eat
be
my
done.
children's vitamins.
Children's vitamins. I do the best I can with my hair.
Spray so much hairspray out into the world.
I'm trimming my beard. Right?
Yeah.
And I do my beard part on like a 10 on our Manscaped razors that we got sent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I do my cheeks on a 3.5. And before I've been close to like doing a 3.5 of my beard, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna let that happen. And I'm doing it. And sometimes you take off the head to like check out the hair. So I'm doing it. I'm kind of absent-mindedly doing it, as you shouldn't do. Take off the head.
You were so distracted by that handsome man in the mirror.
Used to be handsome.
Ooh, if he had a little higher hair. Oh.
I took off the thing. I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah.
Not paying attention whatsoever.
Yep.
Take the bare razor
Yeah.
across my fucking beard.
Yeah.
And I shaved my beard down to like the 0, like across the front of my beard.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot fucking believe that I just did that.
Yeah.
And
then that old lady popped back up and she's like, "Do you see how hard it was? Do you see how difficult? Yeah. That's a perfect one, my young man.
So I was
Gotta
like,
go." So you go back to that salon and they're like,
Yep.
"Well, that sounds like the old owner, but she passed away in 1992."
yeah. So the only thing I could do was make it even.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you do. And so I made the other
Yeah.
side even. And I'm kind of still waiting for it to grow back in.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, dude. I was just like, I went into that meeting and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I look like a burn victim. I explained the hair. I explained the beard. I'm like, I got to get this out of the way.
Yeah.
But man, oh man.
What did the judge say?
The judge said, he was like, I didn't notice anything. I think it's fine. I was like, all right.
Oh, you made it a he. Interesting.
Well, there's an actual person I was with.
He or she.
And yeah, so I don't know, man.
I mean, as
Let me
someone
kicked around.
who has cut his own hair, I was, as you were talking, I'm like, who cut my hair? Right. Who was the last person to cut my hair? And it would have been in the fall of 2005.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, the fall of 2004, because starting January 2005 was
So
was this
19
one.
years ago, you were 26?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And so I cannot remember. It was I finished one full semester at Arkansas,
Yeah.
came home for Christmas break, and then went back. And James Sokup and I cut my hair, and then I've just done it myself since then. But I do not remember how I cut my hair that fall semester. And then I'm like, all right. Before that, I'm like, I had 4 years when I was living in Indiana, working at Walgreens. I'm like, who cut my hair? I don't know. And for me, like as somebody who tracks his life.
Yeah.
Not even borderline obsessively, actually obsessively.
Yeah, to the point of psychosis.
Yeah.
Supercuts,
It
you
is
think? Something like
killing
that?
me. It's weird. I'm like, all right, I think there was a place in Cherville that I went once or twice. And then I'm like, when did I go to like a family friend cut hair in her basement? Like, when was that? Was that high school Brad? Was that college Brad? Was that post-college Brad? And I do not remember.
Wow.
But I'll figure it out.
I think I've only really gone to people I know.
I have to think about these things
Weirdly.
sideways. So I think about something else and it'll come to me like
Yeah,
next week.
mine was so tangential the way I landed on the barber I had forever that was like a friend.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
connect with him from time to time.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. He just moved to Florida, so
Yeah,
I
right.
can't do
I
it.
remember the whole problem.
Yeah, like I went to when I first moved around here, I went to a place that seemed nice in like right on the line of Cranston, right? Garden City. Went over there.
Yeah.
It was a cool like men's barbershop place. They were lovely people. The guy that ran it seemed a little weird, and the people that worked for him, the barbers, like didn't seem really happy. Met this young kid, younger than me. He was cutting my hair. I really liked him.
Yep.
He was cool. And he said to me the last time I went in, he's like, not for nothing, this is my last week. And my boss isn't allowing me to tell my clients that I'm leaving, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, from like for hairstylists and barbers, it's like they rent the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you should be able to say to clients, like, I'm leaving, come with me.
Yeah.
And he was starting a barbershop with this other guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I start going there, and I, chat with him, and I chat with the other guy.
Yeah.
And eventually, the young guy, he broke his hand in a motorcycle accident, so he couldn't
sounds
cut my
cool.
hair. Right?
Yeah.
He couldn't cut my hair, and so I started going to the other dude.
Yep.
And that guy became my friend. They sponsored the screening of the Rhode Island comedy. No, the
Maine.
no, not the main one.
Avon.
Avon Theater in Providence.
That was my Ray Rolodex, and they did it pretty good.
Yeah, nice job. Yeah, the Avon Theater in Providence, we screened Be a Man,
Yeah.
and they sponsored it, and they did the whole thing. Those guys are so great.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so cool. The straight razor I used in the movie, it's because I told him I got one, and he's like, let me see the one that you got.
Yeah.
And he's like, do not cut your face with this. Do not shave with this razor. This is awful.
Yeah.
You will absolutely shred your face.
Wow.
Use this razor. I still shredded my face, but I
Yeah.
can't imagine. It was the kind you get that you see in movies where it's one big
Yep.
blade.
Wow.
And he's like, those are made so cheaply. There are a million little nicks
Yeah, of
on the
course.
razor part that you don't even see. Real barbers, they use this, and it's basically you put a razor blade in it,
Yes.
so you can keep it fresh.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, he was a great guy. He left, but it is that winding road of you kind of want to know this person. You're having a connection with them.
Yeah, I think that this
You know?
experience actually did create that bridge for me to find a new person.
Yeah.
And she was really, really nice, and like she was great. I think this is a great new barber
You got it.
relationship.
Yeah.
Good.
But I wanted to
What
ask
about that
you
old
guys,
lady? Are you staying in touch?
No, I wanted to ask
No,
you.
she's dead.
Like,
Oh.
if you have any bad haircut stuff, I want to hear that. But I do think it's kind of like likely that guys at some point accidentally shaved off part of their beard by accident.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Has it happened to you?
No, but
Never?
No, but
Wow.
what has happened was when I was it was probably 2008. Like I was here. I was with no. Yeah, I was with Sky Punch because they had like made fun of my eyebrow because I would shave my head but not my eyebrows.
Your
They
old improv group.
They said I had puffin eyebrows, which
I
if
like.
you've ever seen an Arctic puffin, they have big eyebrows.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I have to start now trimming my eyebrows as well. And I forgot to put the guard on. So the eyebrows went super short
Yeah.
and everything looked wrong and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm like, oh, that's what it was.
That's funny.
And there was another,
Yeah.
for my head, I do the longest, internal guard. I don't put a special clip on it, whatever. And I had done it on the shortest setting once. And so my hair was a little shorter, but I've never fouled up my beard in that way.
Did you ever shave by accident like that?
The closest I've come is I had like lineup, like it was uneven, and I kept going to try and even it out, and it just got too low. Right?
Yeah.
I've come close where I had a guard thing that would like go down without
Yeah.
a moment's notice. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
And it was like, ooh, got to be careful.
Yeah.
That's the closest that's happened.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
I think about bad haircuts. One year, because I would always part on the same side, and then probably junior or senior of high school.
What,
I'm
what
like,
are you parted on now?
it's
Middle.
it's all parts.
I bet you're a middle guy.
Yeah, I've never been a middle guy, but
Can you imagine you with like a bowl cut middle?
no,
Oh.
no.
You know his hair used. You know what his haircut used to be before he had this haircut?
What?
It was like Beavis.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm like, oh, it's curly hair.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It looks terrible, but I was self-conscious about it all the time. That's why I keep my head shaved because I never liked my hair.
I'd love to see you with a Beavis.
Or a butt head.
I tried to part it the other way
A literal butt head.
for like 3 days,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. Didn't look right. Didn't feel right. None of that.
Yeah.
And then I think there was probably 7th or 8th grade. I just used like hairspray, just a lot, and it was like honestly, it was like a Lego head. It was like lacquered because of how much product I put in it.
I think his hair is very thick.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Yeah.
The parting thing that reminded me because I used to not part my hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had the duck butt where it just went forward.
Yep.
Before that it was just go back and let it do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of create its own thing. But I started parting my hair, and I used to part it on the other side because it felt better the way it flowed.
Right.
And I had it that way forever. And the reason I bring it up is because, I mean, now I part it this way. It just came up on my YouTube feed, this old video from an interview thing I did in Minnesota with a comic friend of mine, Jeff Foser, who for a while was doing like a tongue-in-cheek.
The Foes dog.
I love Jeff Foser. Foser is wonderful. One of the most positive people in the world. I love Jeff Foser. He's a great guy.
Foes dog.
Faux boy. He had a great bit about a faux boy. Different.
No,
That's
yeah.
a different,
different thing.
That's
Yeah.
a different thing.
Sounds like that barber I went to.
My step barber would hate
Yeah.
a faux boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, no, he's so fun. He had a great bit about like going to. Everybody's always excited when it's like it's a this bakery. Right? Oh, it's a German bakery.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. It's going to have this. Ooh, a French bakery.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then he's just going through a whole bunch of them. He's like, oh, a Canadian bakery.
Yeah. That's fun.
But anyway, he had a like tongue-in-cheek video series of interviews, comedians with cigars eating jerky. Right? Because he was
I remember
working.
this.
Yeah, he was working for a beef jerky company in
okay. Yep.
Minnesota.
I remember this.
Yeah. But it just popped up on my feed last night, and I was like, "Oh my god! This is ages ago. I haven't seen this in forever." And I clicked on it to watch a little of it. I made it like 30 seconds because my hair is parted the other way, and we did it at like 9 in the morning. After I flew in, I had a show. I was not ready to be up and at a place at 9 a.m. or maybe it was 10, whatever. So my hair is still kind of wet with product in it.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird like a weird like sweep. It's borderline Hitlery.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's not coming down.
I think what made it Hitlery was the things you were saying.
I said nothing Hitlery, Brad. Nothing Hitlery.
Sorry, Hatlery. Rudolph Hatler.
I did do some Rudolph Hitlery material.
Yeah.
But no, it is weird to see that. But yeah, you go through phases with your hair.
I know.
And that's what that's also like the stupid thing of like times changing and
Yeah.
the vibe you had and,
Yeah.
and like, oh, I can't believe I used to wear that. You
I know.
But it's all coming full circle, you know? A lot of the Zoomers are starting to dress like 90s baggy shit.
Oh,
and I
that's
look
cool.
at that and I'm like, I can totally go back to that. Yeah. So
Jenkos?
can I? No. Like baggy sweatshirts, big
yeah.
t-shirts, like
For
stuff
sure.
like that. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that with a purpose.
Yeah.
It was called being a puberty fat boy. Nothing better than a big baggy sweatshirt hide all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think I thought about this. I'm like, I could go back to that 100%.
Yeah.
The baggy the shirts. The thing I never want to go back to is big baggy pants and jeans. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard for me to think about it now. Like, I didn't wear huge baggy ones, but I wore a slightly baggy. And now, like I went to my friend's house the other night. They gave me a bunch of hand-me-down jeans before, and I'm like, you have any more hand-me-down jeans?
Yeah, the
Th-
one
those
with
are
the
graded,
fucking
yeah.
cataloging. Yeah.
And
That's when you had said like I can't record. I know I said we would record tomorrow. I can't make it. I have to catalog my jeans.
and she's like, oh, I have 2 more pairs, and she gave them to me, and I tried them on, all baggy below the knee, and I'm like, I can't do it. It feels so
Yeah,
weird.
and I'm not saying baggy like Jinkos or
Yeah,
like ridiculous or we're going to a rave and I've got 400 zippers. You know,
Yeah.
just the generic bagginess that was in that period of time.
I know. It's
You know,
weird.
I was never I was never really interested or allowed to participate in fashion trends. So I never had
I was
like
never allowed to participate.
the,
in
like I
fashion
never
trends.
I never had the big baggy jeans.
Yeah.
I you know, like it was
I don't
never
think- Did
it
your
was
parents
never a
really
thing.
say you can't take part in fashion?
I
trends?
think my mom wouldn't buy the things that I'm
But,
like,
even-
Cavariccis. Like I wanted denim Cavariccis, which were like hammer pants,
Oh,
basically.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad, no, we're not talking about like absurd baggy.
Well,
I just said not Jinkos, and you're like,
Right.
yeah, hammer pants, MC hammer pants. I wanted to dance side to side.
I'm saying like these are pre-Jenko.
Yeah.
Like my mom's like, I'm not going to buy those. Like
Yeah.
you can get your Levi's
Little Brad is
510s.
like, but I'm too legit to quit.
Mom, look how stupid I look. And he's doing it without us. I love that. You doing it to your mom to show you how stupid you look
You're
without
getting
those
out of
pants.
breath. You see how stupid I look? I look like a fool. I mean, I look like everybody could touch this.
I mean, when I was in middle school, people were doing like overalls, but one strap was
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
like
yeah.
My mom was
Well,
like,
that's because Come On Eileen had just come out.
Yes, she's like, I'm not gonna buy you overalls.
I love
Like,
the idea.
It was like you get jeans, you get a sports T-shirt, and you deal with it.
Yeah.
Brad goes in the bathroom and he takes one of his overall things off and he puts a sweatshirt over it. He's like, "All right, bye guys,
Bye, everybody.
Then he like sexily takes it off in the driveway.
I've literally never done anything sexily.
I do think it is interesting because I don't think I could go back.
Yeah.
And I know there are Zoomers that make fun of millennials for the fact that we wear like skinny jeans or stuff like that because they're going back to baggy. And I'm like, I can't. It feels wrong.
yeah, it's tough.
It just feels wrong on my body. And I remember as late as college, I was wearing like boot cut jeans.
Yeah, boot cut. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wore straight leg until I was mocked too much and then I switched to relaxed fit. And now it's whatever is on sale.
Yeah.
I can picture you as a young Brad with your mom saying like no fashion stuff. I picture you getting a pair of not jeans, dungarees. And you put the dungarees on and it is denim that is so stiff it takes effort to bend the knee. Yeah. Is that accurate in any way?
Sadly, no. We went to in or around Marion, Indiana, which is where my dad is from.
Okay.
So we'd go down to visit my grandparents. They had like an outlet store for jeans, and we would stop there and shop for Brent's jeans and Bradley's jeans and Brooks' jeans like once, maybe twice a year. And I hated it. Because, you're clothes shopping and it's like, try this on, try that on. And like, I don't get a say in what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I would hate that too.
Yeah.
And but then it's like, well, then Brent has to go through it, and then Brooke has to do twice as many because my mom's like, well, she's a girl.
Yeah.
And so that was it. And I remember finally I gave in, and I'm like, I got a pair of Bugle Boy jeans that were so like they were basically white. They were such a light blue.
So acid wash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a pair of Lee jeans that were
There's still acid on them.
a pair of Lee jeans that
are
were
so sharp.
You know what? The Lee jeans were probably closer to dungarees.
Yeah.
But I loved those Bugle Boy jeans. Loved
That's
them.
so funny.
That is delightful, and I think it's interesting. It must have been hard to find stuff too.
Oh, boy.
Just because I know your family was strict on not combining different fabrics. You know what I mean? That was a big thing.
Huge.
You had a list
Yeah.
at the door.
Yeah.
Usually home sweet home.
Yes.
Something
Yep.
like that. Bless this mess.
Yep.
But this was like adhere to these.
Yes.
Right? What was the specific wording for that one again?
It was thou shalt.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's
Now
past.
I am struggling to remember the exact phrasing of the mixed.
Yeah, I know.
What is it? Mixed
fabrics?
Mixed fabrics, but there's a phrase. It's
Yeah.
in the Bible.
Right.
You can't have
Really?
mixed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, sure, yeah. So when people are like, gay is a sin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're being. It's a sin.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, well, yeah. So is that like polyester blend that you're wearing? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
God was pretty strict about that.
Yep.
What is that word? The phrase though? I
don't-
can't remember
I
it.
don't-
It's almost like we've been podcasting for so long that our brains are melting.
Yeah, we were going to do a tight 45 on this. Is it a loose 45?
Can I say
Yeah.
if we're aiming for a 45,
Yes, we are.
we are coming up on it.
Great.
There's just an extra hour.
Yeah.
It's like daylight savings time. There's
Right.
an extra hour.
Yeah.
This is the hour that you get when you move the clocks back.
Yeah.
You get the first hour of this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so now I'm dealing with my hair all over my head, not being quite what I want it to be, but it's in the growth.
Also,
period.
yeah, by the
It's
time
getting back
by the
important.
time you go on this cruise,
Yeah.
it's going to be
How many
prime.
days do I have?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Maybe get a fun, tongue-in-cheek captain's hat, cover that up.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I like
I don't
that.
know what we're going to do about that, though.
Yeah, I know.
The chin.
A captain's face mask?
It's very
Yeah.
tough.
Do the captains?
The chin alone is a little... It's sending a vibe out, for sure.
You should bring back a soul patch, Chuck.
You know what
I
that...
have a soul patch.
You know what that's...
Actually, it
Just-
doesn't,
Oh no,
just
no!
the
You
soul
have
patch.
to, you'd
Yeah,
have to shave
it
this,
doesn't count,
the
yeah.
chin and the under chin off. You know,
yeah.
I say, what it looks like right now is you don't have a chin and you don't want people to know. Hey, look, I shouldn't say anything. I'm a big fat man. I got a fucking weird eye. You know, there's plenty of stuff to poke at. That's why, for me, a good haircut is vital.
Yeah,
it is so important.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
the only thing keeping me together.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
I used
too.
in my first album, I had the joke of like, if I get a bad haircut, like it's all over for me.
Yep.
Then I look like I'm on some kind of list. You know, I get a bad haircut. Oh, what is it? Oh yeah, legally I can't wear sweatpants within like a mile of a Chuck E. Cheese or whatever it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
30 feet, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it is a thing.
It's hellish, man. But I'm recovering.
You'll pull through it.
Oh my
I'm
god,
recovering.
We're gonna
you're a
start a-
fucking
I'm in
cancer
recovery.
patient.
We're going to start a
Jesus.
GoFundMe for Chuck's haircut.
I got a bad haircut.
No, I'm good.
As you know,
Thoughts
this
and prayers during these hard times
Yep.
for me.
also my Venmo is
If anybody wants to send me flowers, you could do that. Or you know what? Donate in my name. Blocks for love. Because there are other people with fucked up heads of hair that need help too. That's fun.
awesome. Well, Chuck, have a great time on the cruise.
Sincerely, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm excited for it to go really well, but then have one thing go poorly, but that's just because I want the story.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear a story about how you were desperately avoiding one area of the ship because you had said something incredibly mean to one person because they like said like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we only have Pepsi products." You know what I mean? And then it culminates.
how about I just go
Kill myself. Security comes. Everything. Oh, you don't have Coca-Cola? Well, how about I go over to that railing, jump out of here, and then it's like security down to the.
She was making it seem like I was such an asshole for believing what it said on the website.
I understand, but you jumped to how about I go kill
How
myself?
about I just
so fast?
How about I just go up to the bridge and I take the wheel and I steer us into an iceberg and kill all of us?
How about I just throw one of the children over the railing? Oh, great. Now security's here.
Hey,
Probably for you. You're such a problem. You're waving a knife around.
Security, do you have Diet Coke?
Did you hear what she asked me to do?
Is Pepsi okay?
So then for the rest of the trip, you're like, oh, I can't go to deck 4. I can't go to deck 4.
That's how it
She'll
was at
be
that-
there. She'll be there.
That's how it was at that Wendy's near my house for a long time. And I used to have to order with
And that Staples. And this place and
I
this
would
place.
keep my visor down so you couldn't see my face when I would pick up food at the Wendy's.
You got pulled over for having
Remember
fake
that?
license plates, and you're like, no, it's so the people at the Burger King don't know who I am.
It was effective.
Yeah, that's one Whopper, please, for Buck.
I did do a voice.
Flayton.
I did do a voice whenever I would go to the Wendy's.
This is not Chuck Stanton, and I'd like a Whopper, please.
Sir, we don't need your name.
Oh, no, it's like, how would you like it? Chuck style, please.
Folks,
All right, 3 Whoppers.
folks out there, if you have comments
2
on,
crowns.
on anything we... comments on anything we've talked about today, send us an email.
Man, the best part is so far in.
funbearablepod@gmail.com or find the email link at socials at funbearablepod. We're happy to hear from you.
Did you get my bun? Did you ask for a bun?
Untoasted, plain.
For Ray Harrington
I also eat the wrapper.
and Chuck Staten and that hair, I'm Brad Rohr saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being funbearable.
No post.
Yeah, I'm
thing.
done.
We'll
I'm
just-
done.
We're done.